Team Jackson, what's happening? So on one of my recent IG live chats, I got an interesting question from a woman. She asked me, why is it that relationships these days hardly ever work out? I feel like there are three main reasons, but y'all correct me if I'm wrong or add on to it in the comments. The first one is because people these days are still infatuated with having options. When you're single, it's okay to have options, even to explore them, but whenever you get into a relationship, it's time to make a choice. And people these days don't like to make a choice because they'd rather be desired by many than valued by one. And in order to continue being desired by many, you gotta feed that by flirting with randoms, never cutting off or burning bridges with exes and past flings, and taking relationship breaks whenever monogamy gets too hard for you. As a matter of fact, we are in a generation of people that will call you insecure if you don't want your partner flirting with people outside the relationship. In which I feel like flirting while you in a relationship is just sugar-coated disrespect, if not blatant, depending on how far you take it. On top of that, you're considered jealous if you don't want your partner being best friends with their ex-lover, when all that energy should have been left in the past whenever you closed the door to it and decided that you was going to move forward. But folks these days want to leave the door cracked and then act surprised when the past come back into the present and mess up what could have been special for the future. Now, the second reason why a lot of relationships these days don't work out is because we still put more pressure on women to have a man than we do on men to first be a man. I mean, just think about how many times I've heard a woman being blamed for the kind of man that she chooses, when it would make more sense to tell men to be better so that women have better choices. Because right now, the pickings are slim. Now, don't get it twisted. There are some good stand-up brothers out here. I'm talking about strong, compassionate, intelligent, good community leaders, great fathers, husband material, all of that. But for every one of those, the average woman got to run across 30 or 40 that's a current or a future felon, or he's broke and ain't trying to fix it, but rather looking to her for a come up on the DL, got 6 or 7 baby mamas looking to make her number 8 or 9, or can't stop lying or won't stop hoeing. So in this situation, most women are left with two choices. Either A, get in and stay in a relationship where she's perpetually unhappy, dissatisfied, and disappointed, or B, give the relationship a chance when it shows that it has potential, but admitting when it's a lost cause and going back to the drawing board. In which in this case, not forcing a relationship to work out is the better option because it never should have began in the first place. The third reason why relationships these days don't work out is quite frankly because people these days don't want to put the work in, both before and during the relationship. A lot of people think being single is about waiting for the right one. No, it's about working on yourself to become the right one so you can attract and keep the right one when they do come. Frankly, everybody should have two priorities when they're in between relationships. One, being honest about and then addressing what it is that you did wrong in the last one. And two, healing yourself where you're hurt, because that's your responsibility now. And you do that so the next one doesn't have to deal with it, nor leave you because of it. And that takes time, patience, and yes, work. But even then, when you become the right one and you find the right one, the work ain't done. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people think because they found their soulmate, that means the struggle and the fight for relationships is over with. No, you just found somebody worth fighting for and who's willing to fight with you for what you both want. It's like you're still going to have disagreements. You're still going to have misunderstandings. Y'all are occasionally going to hurt each other's feelings, which means you got to have uncomfortable conversations and put your pride aside to get it back right. We've been sold on this idea of finding the right one, and then the relationship just takes care of itself from that point on, but it don't work like that. It's kind of like the saying, you know, people pray all their life for a cake, but when they're presented with the eggs, the flour, and the milk, they want to give up. You know, if you want anything to work out, you got to be willing to put the work in. That's just what it is. But y'all tell me what you think in the comments, man. I'll let y'all later. Peace.